How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake. You just saw me cutting up a bunch of rounds here to feed to the East-of-Made 2228 with the attached 16-foot conveyor. If you've been following along the last couple of videos, you know that I added on those grizzly bars that you can see right there hanging off the end. They have been working great. I just wanted to, right off the bat, say thank you to everybody that gave their feedback, suggestions on what I could do differently with them, how I could just implement them in general. Overall, the feedback was very, supportive, positive, because I think, the proof was in the pudding. They just simply worked. A bunch of, scrap and stuff was falling out through them and leaving us with a cleaner final product, being the wood in the IBC totes. So as you can see, I have a tote over there that I just came out the other day and did. I just need to top that off, and then we are going to split some more wood, hopefully. And I got something new that I'm showing on the channel for the first time, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of it. It will kind of change up the whole operation here a little bit. Not anything too drastic, but I'm curious to see what you guys think, if you guys actually use these things on your own in your own wood yards, and how they end up working for me. So I'm going to fire up the East-of-Made and finish off that tote. We'll check back in a couple minutes. All right, guys, that did not take long at all. Just going to mark the species and the date, as I always do. Okay, so we're gonna get this tote out of here. One thing I did want to mention, I don't know, yeah, I don't think the camera was recording, but when these totes get full like this, especially with the grizzly bars, pieces typically tend to fall down, onto the, as I say fall down, my hookaroon just fell out of the log. But pieces fall down onto the asphalt millings, and while it's not a big deal, I typically like to pile it up because these totes, as we all know, aren't exactly 1/3 of a cord when they're loosely, stacked in like this, or not stacked in. If you were to stack it in, it would be a full 1/3 of a cord. But because it's loose, you're losing a little bit of volume, so I like to heap it up at the top. But this next thing that I have, I'm going to show you once we get this out of here, and we're not going to have to do that, and I think it's going to make the cleanup or the moving, switching of the containers a lot easier. So I'm gonna get this tote out of here, and I'm really excited to try this next thing out. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got some of these awesome log lift bags. Now, right off the bat, I have to thank AJ Shaver from Shaver Specialty Equipment out there in Pennsylvania. I believe it's Wyoming, Pennsylvania. I will put a link to his website in the description, but he offered to send me out some of these. He sent me out a sample box of, I think, like 12 of them. So it'll be a total of 4 cords of log lift bags. So we're going to try these things out on the channel. As you guys know, even though I do have quite a bit of the empty IBC totes over there, the IBC totes are getting harder to find, especially for free. So I wanted to start doing a little research and looking into some other options for firewood storage, and I think these bags could be the ticket. So we're going to try out these first 12 here and see how they do for our operation, and might start implementing them into the future. Now, the one thing that I do like about these things right off the bat is that, like I was mentioning with the IBC totes, you have to stack the IBC totes to get the full third of a cord. These bags are oversized, or they're compensated in size to, be designed to allow you to just put the wood in off a conveyor or off a machine directly, not stacked, just loosely thrown in, and it is still a full third of a cord. So it's really nice now that we have this conveyor and everything, not having to touch the wood and still being able to be accurate in knowing that I can tell my customer, don't you worry, this is a full third cord of wood. These things look pretty beefy. I like it. Has like this plastic like bag here. I might be able to like write my dates and stuff of when I split the bags. It has the mesh on the side. These sides actually look like really breathable. You can kind of see like my hand through there. So I think it'll get plenty of airflow. They have the dumping straps on the bottom. I threw a couple pieces of wood in there just to kind of give it its shape. But I think we're gonna have to adjust the conveyor a little bit. I think raise it up a little bit, and then we can get going here and try it out, this log lift bag. Okay, guys, so I think I got the bag situated properly. When I spoke to AJ on the phone, he said to try and keep the edges of the bag maybe like an inch or two up. That way, if you have it like 6 or 7 inches up, the whole bottom of the bag is gonna bow out, and then it won't sit flat on the pallet. So he said to make sure to, just keep it up a couple inches. That way the bottom of the bag is nice and square, as you can see it is there, and it fills up nice and evenly, and will stay on the pallet once it is filled up with wood. So let's fire up the machine, and I don't know if we'll get the whole bag filled up tonight, but we're gonna try. Well, all right, guys, we got this log lift bag filled up. I think it's, you know, seems pretty full. One thing that I realized I didn't do was spread my forks out more. I probably should have spread them out, because you can see how this side of the bag is kind of pulling in and this side's pulling out. If I spread them out, you know, it would probably create more of like a funnel effect. But these are just, you know, some of the things I'm going to be learning using these things for the first time. But for the most part, this bag filled up really well. I mean, are there some pieces on the ground? Yes. Is that necessarily the bag's fault? I don't really know. Obviously, these bags are not rigid like the IBC totes, so I think they are a little bit more involved in setting up. You know, the crate, the IBC tote, you just plop it down, and it is what it is. You know, you don't have to futz with it. These, you do have to put them on the pallet forks and get a pallet underneath it and stuff like that. But there's other advantages to them too. You know, you could probably fit, you know, a couple hundred of these in one IBC tote. You know, I have to store all these IBC totes. Granted, most of the time they're filled with wood, but when they're not, they do take up a lot of space. When this isn't filled with wood, it doesn't take up much space. So I am curious to see how this does. I mean, this was mostly ash with a little bit of maple and some black birch in there. So it should be good firewood. It should be ready to burn pretty quick. That being said, I think these grizzly bars worked out tremendously. You know, it is definitely filtering out all of this scrap that you see here. And like, you know, it's taken out kindling size stuff down to, you know, little shards and just straight up pieces of just bark. So I'm pretty happy with that. This log lift bag, you know, appears to be pretty full. It's kind of, I guess it's hard to tell. It's bigger than an IBC tote, you would think. So there should be enough wood in there. I'm tempted to want to like pick it up off the pallet, but I think that would ruin the whole bottom of the bag. It might, you know, bow down a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. So if you guys use these things, let me know the best, you know, way to move them around when they're filled with wood, how to set them up off the end of a conveyor or something like I have here. But again, thank you, big thank you to AJ Shaver Specialty Equipment, Wyoming, Pennsylvania. Go check out his website. I will put it down in the description below. And yeah, he has a promo code, so you will get $10 off your order if you use the promo code JAKE at checkout. That's Jake. Shaver Specialty Equipment, Wyoming, PA. Log lift bags. You know, the jury is still out on these things. We'll see how they work out. But again, let me know all your feedback in the comment section below. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. But for now, I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.